Hello again, guys. Here's pictures of my current restoration. 1948 McCormick Farmall H. Acquired this about 4 years ago. I knew the engine was in bad shape, but the chassis and tin work were in really good shape. I got it in the garage, got the engine out, got the engine in the garage about a year ago. Started tearing that apart. I had to smash the pistons out of it, and the head was rusted really bad, so I finally just recently acquired a used head that was in better shape. There's that. Had to get a used crankshaft or camshaft that was in better shape. The original cam was rusted pretty bad. There's some miscellaneous parts on the bench waiting to get cleaned up. Did get the cylinders cleaned up, waiting for the new sleeves. Did get the sleeves installed. They didn't look too bad. Wound up grinding the valve seats, and I put new valves in it and springs, a whole new valve train. And I did put the crank in my lathe and run some emery over it, and when I mic'd it, it mic'd it within tolerances of the standard or original bearings. So with a set of original bearings, new bearings, I put those in, got the crank installed, got the front timing plate on, some timing gears on. There's the distributor drive gear. There's a picture of a gasket right out of the box that the holes did not line up on. It had about 3 holes there I had to punch out. Here's the front timing gear cover, just trying to get the shaft and the belt pulley primed and painted. You can see the electrical tape and rags I wadded on there to keep the paint from getting on the seal. Get some paint on that before you put it together, because it's hard to get to it after you do. There's a picture of the shaft with the rags and electrical tape gone. Looks a little neater. There's the connecting rods cleaned up, waiting for the new pistons. Picture of 2 of the new pistons on the connecting rods, and 2 of them installed. Connecting rods connected to the crank. All the crank bearings installed. Here's a picture from the top of all 4 pistons. There's a picture from the bottom of all 4 connecting rods connected, and the main bearing bolts in and safety wire. The oil pump installed, and just another picture of the oil pump and the main bearing safety wire. And then started getting the block cleaned up, prepped, ready for primer and paint. We usually do that as soon as we can. I say we. Me and my helper. You'll see a picture of him coming up here shortly. I took advantage of head bolts to hang some parts on them as long as I was painting. I've got the oil filter housing, the distributor drive housing, and the crankcase vent tube, and some bolts there that I primed and painted as long as I was doing it. Basically just some pictures of paint here, the next few. There's that front fan belt pulley. The front engine seal is coming up here. That's a 3-piece seal. It's 2 aluminum pieces plus that steel plate you see. There's the oil pan before and after cleanup. And then prime and paint. I tried a different paint. It looked good when I got done, as you can see, but since then, in about a week here, it's lost its gloss. I did decide to get the chassis in the garage, and the bell housing. I noticed that the throwout bearing carrier was missing a bolt. It had fallen out. Luckily it was in there. I did locate it. Speaking of my helper, there's a picture of him taking a nap. It's about like having Jim help you. There's the front bolster sitting over there in the corner waiting for some cleanup. And then there's the central housing, clutch housing on the floor, and the rear end hanging there by itself. There's the main drive shaft, throwout bearing carrier and throwout bearing. And then there's the front of the transmission, main shaft and counter shaft. Those bearings and seals are bad. I've got those on order. Hopefully the next one, hopefully it'll be real video feed, guys. Talk to you later.